Hey guys, Joe Madden, the Joe Madden Sports Podcast here, joined this afternoon by Dexter Henry, sports anchor for NY Post, SNY TV, host of the NBA Exchange. Dexter, how's your day treating you?
My day's treating me good, and I'm happy to be on the show. Glad to join you in your great podcast, Joe. So thanks for having me.
I'm so excited to have you here. We have been back and forth on social for the last
Yep.
couple of years, it seems like here.
Yeah.
You've got so much going on. Tell us how you got started in this industry.
So I got started in this industry now. Wow, I'm making myself feel old. That is back in 2005. I graduated from the University of Pittsburgh, came back home to New York City. I'm from Brooklyn, New York, and worked in a local newspaper, worked for a local newspaper for a while as a sports reporter. Got my start there, and then did a lot of stuff. I always wanted to get into sports broadcasting on TV. That's pretty much what I focused on in college. And then I got an opportunity working with MLB.com as a game night editor. And then this is my second time with the New York Post. I was with the New York Post before from 2007 to about 2013, working as a video journalist for them. So I've done stuff like that, covering the Brooklyn Nets for Nets Daily, working for the News 12 networks. For 3 years, I was a national weather reporter for AccuWeather, and I did a lot of sports and weather stories there. And then now I'm at New York Post again with SNY, and we do, digital videos, updates on news stories going on, interviews with insiders. And so it's been a lot of fun. And then I also host my own NBA show, which you mentioned, the NBA Exchange, which I love doing 3 times a week. So a lot of stuff, Joe. I'm busy, but I love what I do. And always excited when I can help and talk to other people doing their own independent media because that makes me happy. Yeah.
Well, you're absolutely crushing it at the New York Post. Tell me more about your show, the NBA Exchange, and where people can find it.
Yeah, people can find it through my production company, Backpack Broadcasting, the YouTube channel there. It is 3 times a week. We usually do it live at 11 a.m. Sometimes we switch the times, but most times it's 11 a.m. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We talk about everything around the NBA, anything that's going on. Now we're in the conference finals. We also have a segment every Wednesday with my friend Gerard Hector. He comes on. We do NBA with nuance, so we delve into some issues. We also talk about betting a bunch on it and how you should bet in the NBA, what you should look at, what are good matchups, what are good props, things like that. So it's a fun show. We do it 3 times a week. We have a lot of great guests. And Joe, I'm letting the listeners know, Joe will be on soon. We're going to make that happen. Joe's got to come on because she's got a great expertise. So we got to make that happen, Joe.
Absolutely. Can't wait for that to happen. Let's talk some NBA. We have the Miami Heat, Boston Celtics going at it tonight in this next round. What are your thoughts on this? Do you think this one's going to go deep, or do you think this is going to be a quick win for the Celtics like people are thinking?
I do think it's going deep. And I think if people think this is going to be quick for the Celtics or even on the side of the Heat, I think they'd be a little bit wrong there. I think both these teams play fantastic defense. And this might be an old school looking series, Joe. You might see it might be the first person who gets the 95 that wins. These are two really good defensive teams. Now, I think there's a little concern with Marcus Smart. He is questionable for game one, and Kyle Lowry, is out for game one. So those are some things that can take a hit to the Celtics defense and the Heat as well. But both teams have learned to play without their point guards through this postseason. So I think they can be okay. Now, who I like, though, I like the Celtics in 7 because I just trust their offense a little bit more here. I think this will be a deep series, but I trust the Celtics offense a little bit more in their star players with Tatum and Brown than I do the Heat. But it wouldn't shock me at all if the Heat won this in 7 or maybe even 6. But I would lean towards Celtics in 7. That's what my gut's telling me right now. That's how I'd bet it.
Yeah, a lot of people saying their gut is telling them the Celtics here. I would love to see the Heat go through. I love Jimmy Butler. I love what Bam's doing. And I think just how strong they are from getting those deep balls, I could see them really giving the Celtics a challenge here. I like it in 7 as well. I think it's going to be a fantastic series.
I think so too. But the Heat, I think if the Heat can get hot offensively from 3, if some of their role players can break out a little bit with a little bit more consistency here, that could swing the series. They've played without Lowry. You saw that in the last round against the Sixers. I think they've been fine. Gabe Vincent's been fine, but Tyler Hero's got to be a bit more consistent. If he is, then this could be dangerous. I think the thing to watch is these first couple of games at home for the Heat, how they come out and play. If the Celtics can steal one, they're in good shape, which they're going to try to do. If the Heat take both, then I think they're really going to be feeling confident. So keep your eye on these first 2 games.
Absolutely. Do you have any bets out tonight in this game?
Yeah, tonight I like the Heat. I think with the line for most places, I'm looking at most betting houses. Most betting houses have it at -2 right now. The Heat 2-point favorites. I like the Heat. I think they'll come out with a lot of energy. They've had more rest than the Celtics. Celtics just played a 7-game series with the Bucks, so I like the Heat there. The other thing for me with this, and I'm just checking because I'd looked at it before, just making sure it hasn't moved, Joe. The over under. Now this is not a high over under at 204. Generally, when it comes to betting the Heat or the Celtics this year, I've told a lot, take the under. Always take the
Yep.
under. With these two teams going at each other, it's really tough because I see a lot of these games, they could be in the high 90s, it could be in the low, first couple of digits of the hundreds. So it could be right around that 204 mark. I might be inclined to wait on that, wait and see how this first game plays out. I could see this being right around. I'm almost kind of inclined to bet the over here if I'm going
Okay.
to do it on the first game. Generally, I'd say the under with these two teams, but this might be one you want to stay away from. See how it plays out. I also like in terms of any props. I think anything the way Jimmy Butler's been playing. You talked about it, Joe. He's been
Yep.
fantastic. I know you like him. Jimmy Butler's been fantastic through these playoffs. I think if you had a playoff MVP, you probably could say he's one of them. He's been really consistent. I think anything with him for 25 plus points. Look at that. Tyler Hero shoots the ball well at home. Anything with him, 2.5 plus threes. I think look at that as well too. So those are some props I'd look at. I generally like to stay with the role players, the home team.
Yep.
Try to maybe look that way. I think that's a good bet. But Tatum's also been playing good. So if you see some props on him over 27 points, that's around what the line's been for him, 27.5 points. I'd say look at that too because he's been on a roll and has been playing some good basketball lately.
Yeah, I like that as well. Do you ever break down quarters and halves? Are you into betting those at all?
No, I stay away from quarter and halves.
Yeah.
Pretty much. It's just too dicey for me in terms of like where the variance of things may go. What I will look at in a quarter and a half is I'll look at player props within that, right? So if I see that somebody's maybe rebounded the ball pretty decently in the first half and it seems like they're getting a lot of opportunities, maybe I'll say, okay, what's the number they can go over for in the second half? I might look at that. But in terms of betting total scores for quarter and halves or player points for quarter and halves, I like staying away from that because all it takes is one cold or hot streak going either way, and it's too much for me. Yeah.
Okay, we have to talk about tomorrow's matchup.
Yep.
Firstly, are you shocked the Dallas Mavericks are here beating out the Phoenix Suns?
Hell yeah, I'm shocked. I'm shocked. And you know what I was shocked by, Joe? I was shocked by how bad the Suns looked in game 7, right? I
Yep.
couldn't remember the last time that a team favored at home looked that bad and the game was over by halftime. I mean,
Yep.
halftime, 27 points, and Luka has 27 points. I thought the Mavs would fight. I thought they'd be good, but I'm shocked the Suns aren't here. I wanted to see the Suns versus the Warriors. So yeah, I'm stunned that we have Mavs versus Warriors. Even though I'm a big Luka fan, I'm stunned that we had Mavs versus Warriors in the fashion that they beat them so badly. And it's funny. I stayed away from that game. I was like, you know what? I'm not. I didn't touch that game except for some player props. And boy, I was glad I did because I was thinking about taking the Suns and I did not. So it was a good move. It was a good
Yeah,
move.
that was definitely a crazy way for that series to end. Didn't expect it either. So, looking at the matchup we have here with the Golden State Warriors, how do you think the Mavericks are going to hold up?
I think they'll put up a good fight. I really do, Joe. I think they will. I can see the Mavericks taking 2 games here. I'm inclined to pick the Warriors. I like Warriors in 6. I've been saying that. The Mavericks are a good defensive team, but this is a level of offense that they haven't seen. What the Warriors do so well, and we saw this against Memphis, and we saw this in the first round, what they were able to do to Denver. It's just how they move fluidly with their offense. Their back cuts are so good, and they're so skilled. Where I think the Mavericks have a chance is Clay and Steph are not what they were years ago, right? They're not as dangerous when they were shooting a high volume amount of threes and hitting 42 to 43%. Now it's a little bit lower, so it makes them a little bit more vulnerable. And I think the Mavs defense is good enough to win a game at home with their role players or have a fantastic performance by Luka. We could see some 45, 10 and 7 performance, and it wouldn't shock me. And the Mavs take that game. So I think the Mavs are going to put up a fight. I think they're going to be competitive. I think they know they're playing with house money here, which makes them dangerous. But I think the Warriors just have the experience and they're focused, and they know this is a great shot for this team to get back to the finals and win the title.
Okay, so I have to ask, who do you think wins it all at the end of the day?
You know what? I threw some money down on a futures bet on the Warriors early in the season, and I'm going with the Warriors. I think the Warriors find a way to get this done, win it all. Steph, Draymond, and Clay get to the mountaintop. But I will say, if the Celtics and Warriors get there, which I think could be a fabulous NBA Finals, don't count out these hungry Celtics, because I love the defense that they play, and their confidence is growing too under first-year head coach Ime Udoka. Don't count them out. But as a betting man, I'd put my money in the Warriors. That's what I go.
Okay, well, we've got a great series of games here. Looking forward to those finals. See who gets that win. Dexter, can you let everyone know again where to find you on socials, where to watch your shows?
Yeah, you can find me on socials, Instagram or Twitter at DHenryTV. Also, you can check me out on the New York Post Sports YouTube channel. A lot of videos are up there. I'm there every weekend doing stuff, sometimes filling in during the week, or on the SNY YouTube channel as well. A lot of our video content is on there, or either of those sites, SNY.TV or NewYorkPost.com as well. And you can catch me out in the NBA Exchange Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Backpack Broadcasting. Hit the subscribe button there to that, and you can see my content there. But yeah, that's where you can find me, at DHenryTV. Give me a follow.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dexter. You guys make sure you go give him a follow at all of his handles. I'll make sure I post them on YouTube and Twitter on under this video. So Dexter, thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate your time.
Joe, thank you for having me. Great to finally see you, and we will connect again soon. Thank you.
Awesome.